Hey everyone, I hope you are all well. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about a topic that's near and dear to my heart, and that is why all women should be entrepreneurs. Wow. Now, I just think that entrepreneurship or being a business owner, because some people do kind of see a difference between the two, it would be very much suited to more women, you know? For me, one thing I've realized is after fighting it, or after even kind of resisting it, or kind of trying to postpone it or sway away from it, sway around it, I realized that actually, like, I am supposed to be an entrepreneur. In theory, I have no problem with being an employee in general, but I just do feel like entrepreneurship, being a business owner, being your own boss would be much more well suited for women. So I've got quite a few points here just to explain why I think this, especially because I have a big desire to kind of encourage people this year, to uplift people, and to just speak some positive words and some kind of helpful words here on and going forth. So let's just dive straight in. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you're liking this topic so far, and let's continue on. Okay, so the first reason why I believe that more women should become entrepreneurs or business owners is so you don't have to explain yourself when you need days off, to take care of yourself when you have a period. Now for me, I actually started having periods at the age of 11, and that was just before I went into secondary school. I very quickly noticed, not quickly, but like in that first year, year 7, I noticed I started getting cramps. And I didn't even know what it was. It was my mum who had to tell me, oh, that's called period pains. Those are called period pains. I was like, period pains? So you mean I'm gonna feel this way every single month? Yeah. Ever since then, like many years ago, decades ago, I have been having those aches every month. And during my school years, it caused disruption. It caused me to have like days off. Like I could never have 100% attendance in a school term or even in a school year, of course, let alone a school year. Because I'm a woman, automatically, you know, I'm affected. I tried different pills. I think I took mefenamic acid. That was the first one I got from the GP, and it just didn't work at all. And when I realized that this doesn't work, I just quit tablets altogether, and I would just handle the pain, handle the aches, and I would just take days off school. I would be suffering the whole day, and I wouldn't eat the whole day. I wouldn't eat the whole day for like the whole 24 hours. The next day, I'll probably have a Sprite or some fizzy kind of drink, and then I'll start eating like the second day. And I always throw up, and I just feel like if more women could plan their future, to set it up to be their own boss, nobody, when it comes to like the workplace and that, nobody would have to tell them off like a child, like a baby, like some naughty person. You know, you've missed such and such a day, so you don't get this bonus, or you don't get this. It's completely wrong. It's unfair. Nobody asked to be like the gender that they are. And I believe that since we are in this situation, like not everybody gets period cramps or period troubles, but if we could set ourselves up for the future to be more entrepreneur and business minded, we wouldn't have to find ourselves in situations where people are questioning why you need 1 or 2 days off. Like I'm only ever going to need a maximum of 2 days off in a month, like maximum. 1 day off is usually what I need, but maximum 2 days. I probably won't even need 2 days. I probably just need 1 day. So if I could just have low pressure activities on that day, I'll be happy. I feel like if I could have just set myself up better to just be my own boss, the day before you can actually be pretty good. You can be doing pretty good, and then that day comes, that due date comes, and then you're like a mess. So the second reason why I believe that like it would be really good, beneficial to be more of an entrepreneur or somebody who's like built up a good like business is because so that you can get paid a full salary, or double or triple however much your business is making when you are giving birth or during like maternity leave, because not all companies or countries pay you a full salary for the full duration of your maternity leave. Often you can split the maternity leave with paternity leave, you can split it with your husband or split it with your partner, and then you kind of take turns. But often as a mum, you need that time with your child. You need to have that time at home with your child, nurturing them, feeding them, getting to know them, keeping your eye on them, like a close eye on them, so that you can just be present, and you don't want to have your money cut just because you had a kid. So ultimately what I'm saying is it's all about how you set yourself up for the future, really and truly. And I'm just trying to just push why this could be a very good idea. If you don't think it's a good idea, that's okay. I'm sure you have your reasons too. That's fine. I'm not saying that every single business will be beneficial, but I'm just saying if you can plan for this, like for a business that could be profitable, then this could be much better and more future-proof. Okay, so the third reason why a woman should aim for entrepreneurship and pursue this is, of course, just the simple reason of financial independence. I think it's probably depending on your arena of work, it could be much easier and much more possible if you are an entrepreneur. Okay, so the fourth reason why more women should become entrepreneurs is to create more products for women from a woman's perspective. I think more women need to be creating more products from a woman's perspective. I can think of a couple of products that I could have, found useful. And I might not even be talking about physical products, but even just like digital products, even digital concepts that could be really useful for a woman. And it's only another woman that could create it. And if you can find that gap in the market, that could be a really good opportunity. But if you aren't thinking of the possibility that actually this is a possibility, then it just might not happen. But if more women could think of products, could create products that more women can use from a woman's perspective, then that could be really impactful. I think a lot of women tend to get on board, even just getting on board with an idea, just because they know, it's a female team, it's created by a woman, they have a female CEO, just that. Just without even kind of getting to know the product. But if you can create a useful product geared towards women, designed by women, then that could be something really great. Okay, so the fifth reason is simply to inspire more women. Many women just need another woman to be the example, to step forth and be the example. And I can even put that to the fact of many black women or black girls needing specific role models in specific industries. Here I'm talking a little bit more generally that actually sometimes we need to see women in certain places to inspire us. Okay, so the sixth reason is to inspire your own children to create and to empower generations after you. So that is quite powerful as well, because often we do follow in our parents' footsteps or in the generation before us footsteps. Not always, but just sometimes we do. And sometimes it's not always positive. But if we can make a conscious effort that, hey, I'm doing this because I want to be inspirational, I want to change something in the generation. I want to maybe even break a generational curse, just to be inspirational to your own children and to the generations to come. That, I think, is a good enough reason, It's a good enough reason, and I'm here for it. Okay, so the seventh reason is because entrepreneurship is another form of education. I was about to bring up this point in the last point, but then I thought, no, let me just kind of align it. But then here it is. Entrepreneurship is another form of education, and you learn as you go along. This journey will teach you so much about so many different things in the world. So there you go. It can educate one. Just by embarking on the journey of entrepreneurship, you learn, if you take it seriously, if you really kind of like, if you're determined to make it work, you'll do everything it takes to kind of get the resources, to learn from others, to kind of dig deep, to find your why, to find what the reason why you do what you do, and to find gaps in the market, to find opportunities, to kind of connect with different people. You find that reason why. So entrepreneurship is another form of education, and the journey teaches you so much as a woman and in the world. Okay, so the 8th reason is to find your voice and to fulfill your purpose. I think this is so important, finding your voice and fulfilling your purpose, because oftentimes women are made to be quiet or feel as if they need to be like the fairer sex or like the more gentle people, maybe not be as fierce or as kind of like determined. Oftentimes we're made to feel like you can't be a strong woman and also be like a feminine woman. But there's so much power in finding your voice and finding like what you stand for, what that message that you want to put out into the world, and also fulfilling your purpose, you know, kind of like feeling like you are making a difference, that actually I'm doing what I was created to be. Because sometimes that dream job or that thing that you really want to do lies in you actually creating it for yourself. And so sometimes in order to fulfill your God-given purpose, you actually have to take a bold step to create it and to actually do it for yourself. Sometimes you won't find that in an office, in a pre-described job role. So that's that. Find your voice, fulfill your purpose. The 9th reason why more women should become entrepreneurs is because the gender pay gap still exists today. And I think that some people might argue, I always say some people might argue, because I know that some people, you know, have different opinions on this topic, that some people might argue, well, just negotiate better. Just fight for what you know you deserve. Just go to a company that will treat you right. Just get an education that will give you a good position. Make sure you're in the position of, you know, deciding on people's salaries. But yeah, all that's possible. But I think that this gender pay gap issue is, you know, a very big mountain. It's a very big a mountain to overcome. So I think that if we really just don't want to always feel shortchanged, or I think that sometimes when you know that your colleagues are being paid higher than you, it can have an effect on your self-esteem, your self-worth, and maybe even your performance. So I'm not saying just like run away, but you know, just like think about it. What if you could decide how much you would earn? You could set your goals and you could always achieve them, smash them, and never worry about the gender pay gap. I think it would be great if we could all come together, make sure we sign petitions, make sure we, you know, do what we can to contribute to the conversation when possible, and even contribute to the change by contributing to the conversation when possible. That's great. But honestly, this gender pay gap is going to take some time to really close. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some work. So either you stay over there trying to convince them every time, or you just maybe try and go on your own path and make the real money that you want, knowing that actually this is fair because I worked for this. This is fair because I'm blessed. You know, sometimes God blesses you in an unfair way, where he just blesses you with abundance, and it's like, all this for me? Yeah, all this for you, my child. So there you go. I think because the gender pay gap still exists, that is another good reason to embark on entrepreneurship. Okay, and so the 10th reason is to understand that we are limitless and not limited to what we have been given permission to do or have limited exposure to. I hope that makes sense. So we are limitless. We are not limited to what we have been given permission to do, or limited by what we have had exposure to. You know, sometimes You don't see the possibilities because you have not seen the possibilities. You have had limited exposure. And so it's difficult to know what's out there. I feel like, you know, there have been times in my life when I feel like I've had limited exposure. I feel like if I had been exposed to certain options, I would have taken that path. If I had just done a little bit more, like been a little bit more exposed to certain things, like maybe studying abroad or going to a different school or pursuing this path, I would have absolutely loved to go down that. So sometimes you feel limited because you have not been exposed to it. I think as women, we just have to have this understanding that we are not limited just to what we have been exposed to. We can break into other markets, into other arenas, knock on other doors, walk into other rooms. And I think to have that understanding is to have power. So there you go. I hope that this video has inspired you in some way. I just felt the need to share, the need to kind of inspire, the need to kind of push this, because I was just like thinking about my situation, thinking about my life, my path, and I was just like, this would actually suit me. This suits me very well. For a while I was just like, I just want to be like a part of something bigger. I just want to feel like I'm fulfilled in my job. I just want to feel like I'm doing something that I love, not realizing what I have in front of me, not realizing what I have in my hands is what I love to do. And yet I was looking at somebody else to give me the pass, the tick, to give me the tick of approval when I already had it. So anyways, please do give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you've not already subscribed, as well as turn on your notifications so you know exactly when I've uploaded a video. And please do head over to follow me on Instagram, and I will see you in my next video, okay? Bye bye.